Seriously, Bud is brought to you by OmniSend. OmniSend is a top choice for email and SMS marketing on WordPress, perfect for WooCommerce shops. Easily connect with customers and send out awesome campaigns every day.
Hello, my name is Bree, and welcome to Seriously, Bud, a podcast featuring an unexpected conversation with someone in the WordPress community. And now it's time for my dad, Bud Kraus.
Thank you, Bree. You know, I had so much fun last week speaking with Robbie Adair. I thought I'd do this all over again. Now, I'll be back in the end to give you my thoughts about this week's episode. It's number 45, so here we go. Abhishek Garg, welcome to Seriously, Bud. All right, what's the right way to say your name?
This is Abhishek Garg. So in Indian accent, you mention it as gun, not gun.
Ah, got it. So I do hear the difference now. Okay, well, thank you for that. I just mentioned to you that I don't have, unless it's like an American name and it's easy for me, you can just forget it. So you met your spouse in a co-working space. When and where, and tell me what that was like.
First of all, I want to ask, how did you know that?
Because you told me.
Okay. So, yes. All right.
Oh, you're going to be the comedian for the
Of
show.
course.
Okay.
So, I used to run my own digital marketing agency, and I was working from a co-working space, and I had my team all over. So, my spouse used to come there, she was working for some other company, and she used to visit us and have a chit chat, how we are doing and whatever is happening. And then one fine day we exchanged our numbers, but we never met after that. And after 3 years, or around 3.5 years to be precise, she messaged me on Facebook. Hey Abhishek, how is it going? And I just messaged her back, and from there story started. And in a span of 3 months, we got engaged. Yeah.
Wow. How about that? It was a love at first sight, or not really?
Yes, I did. So I had been in conversation with a lot of, not with a lot of, but yes, I was in conversation with some friends at that point of time, but I was truly searching for a life partner. And then I was already 29 at that point, and then
oh, so old.
Yes, and then and then society starts pressurizing you to get married. I was definitely searching for somebody with whom I can match my frequency, and I can definitely find somebody as my lifelong partner. So I found her.
It's interesting that you say this, because I know from past episodes, specifically Vikas and he's going to kill me. But they both told me their marriages were Devinder. Both of them were marriages that were put together. They were matches made. In other words, the families put them together. Not so in your case, correct? That was not true.
We found each other, and then our families agreed, and somehow love marriage turned out to be the arranged marriage.
So the families did the whole thing.
Yes. And we were from the different parts of the country. So I stay in I stay in north, and she stays in the middle of the country. So it's around 700 odd kilometers, around 30 minutes or 45 minutes flight from here. So the families agree somehow.
Yeah. Now, you were born in, help me out here, Uttar Pradesh? Is that correct?
Sorry?
Right? No. Where were you born?
I was born in Delhi. Delhi, the North India.
Okay, but where?
There is a tiny place in Delhi called Yamuna Hall. I actually was born there, and then
did you grow up there?
Yes, I did. I was born and brought up in Delhi only. Yeah.
And what were you like as a kid, or more specifically, were you a good student? Did you get along with your classmates?
No. I was never a good student, and I was never very good in studies. I was a very mediocre kind of student.
Yes. Me too.
And I was a backbencher, by the way. I used to sit at the back of the class so that nobody sees me.
Right. And was it because you just weren't interested and There wasn't anything that interested you?
I think the latter is the case. Like I was finding something that should interest me. So I really used to like the topic of aliens. I like the topic of Illuminati a lot. I used to research about it on cyber cafes, but never was able to like figure out what is it that is meant for me until graduation.
Me
Yeah,
too.
and until
Right.
graduation, it was like,
Yeah.
what is it that I am meant for? And some one fine day, like I applied for a company, and then it is a payment gateway in India. Like it is the biggest payment gateway in India now, called MobiKwik. And they actually hired me. They were running the office from a 3 BHK home, like in some flats. And I was hired there, and it turned out really well. I was hired there as a customer care executive. And then I just, within a span of 6 months, I shifted myself to marketing. And then it has been a like amazing journey since then. I have never looked back after that, because marketing is something which I found in 2013, which actually made me really curious. And I was really amazed with the kind of impact you can have with very simple things, like not complicated stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're talking about 2014. I mean, you're a little too young. I mean, you don't have to tell me I know how old you are. But that's not, I mean, that's a long time ago, relatively
Yes.
speaking, to your age today. You were like, what, 5 years old when you fell in love with marketing?
I was 21 when I joined MobiKwik, my first company. Now I'm 33. So it's been like around 11, 12 years me being into marketing. But yes, like MobiKwik has played a very significant role in generating that interest of marketing into me.
You know, and once you find what you love, then as we both know, that it's not really, it's work, but it's love too. I mean, it's just like, you know, it's so much a part of your being, your soul, your way of thinking, what you think about all the time. And you do. I know you do.
Yeah.
I know you. I mean, so, and also in your survey, you know, because you filled out a form to be on the show, and you said you don't have any grandchildren. That's what it says, no grandchildren. But you didn't answer the question whether or not you have any children.
Yes. So
You just skipped over that. Yeah.
So my concept is, I really don't know if I want to have children, but I would want to,
Yes.
I may want to like adopt somebody. The point is like, instead of bringing somebody new, why not like helping somebody where I can actually help somebody out, like to give a new life and maybe give that person an opportunity. Or that's the perspective. Instead of having my own children, we might have, I'd never say no. From the perspective right now, we are going to adopt somebody.
Then you need to, after we're done, you need to go to my website, seriouslybud.com, and under the episodes link, you need to find the episode on Mark Benzacane. I don't know if you know Mark. He lives in California, and he has adopted many children. I think he has like 8 children or something like that. And he has quite a story that you should listen to. That's very inspiring.
Seriously, Bud?
So
This is
just
amazing.
all right. We got that out of the
This
way.
is amazing.
Excellent. Yeah. Mark is quite a guy. And I recommend that, you know, if that's is something that interests you. And also, I think James Giroux. No, not James. Yeah, James Giroux. I don't know if you know James. He's in Canada. He also, I think, has adopted children. I don't know. You know, I'm starting to forget all this. You know, all these episodes now, like once you're on my show, you now become my child. I don't have a favorite episode because it's like saying, who's your favorite person? I can't do that. But you will now be one of my children. Okay. So it's like I adopt everybody in the WordPress. And of course, I am the oldest person
of you, man.
in the WordPress world. Don't mention it. So
Seriously, boy.
you're welcome. No, you only get to do that once. Although lately people have been doing it more than once. And I don't know. That's not the rule. What about your wife? Does she work? Hey there, pardon my interruption. I just wanted to take a second to tell you about the WP.world. It's the place to go to find out what people in the WordPress world are doing and let others know what you're doing too. That's the WP.world. Now back to the show.
Yes, she works with Oxford. She's educated and she's like having the like very, very good elevation in her career. And she, wherever I am right now, I wouldn't have been if she would not have been with me. because I am a very disorganized person. I am a very lethargic person. I am a very lazy person.
No, you're not. I don't think so. Man, you are up at 3:00 in the morning, and we'll get to the reason why I know all this stuff. You never sleep. You work 24/7. Come on. You are not a lazy person. All right, go on.
So let me tell you, how it works is I wake up around 4 in the morning, sometimes 3:30, and I try to meditate for some hours, and then I go to play table tennis, and then I go to gym, and then I go to my friends to have a cup of tea with them at around 8 or 8:30, and then around 9:15 I start my office. Though it is supposed to be started at 10 a.m., but I started early in general. I end up having my office at around 7:30, 7:45. Like, the point I'm trying to mention here is the work is not work to me. And then just trying to be very true here. This is something which I've been, that this is an opportunity which has been given to me. Like, I'm lucky to have this kind of opportunity, especially with InstaWP. It's been around 1 year and 2 months so far. And Vikas has been like really amazing guy to work with.
Yes, he is.
The best part is there is no stopping. Do whatever you want to do. Just don't be dishonest. That's it. That's the philosophy. So what happens with the remote work? Like, we work remotely, right? We don't go to office. So with the remote working, the major problem which you face is like most of the people don't keep honest. That's the problem, right? So I think Vikas is handling it in a very, very amazing way. I had a word with him, and he has been working remotely for quite a number of years. That's like a talent. That's an art to manage such a team.
I'm going to, for the audience, because I actually have people here that don't know anything that you're talking about. They don't know WordPress. They don't know InstaWP. So let me explain real quick. WordPress is software, very popular, which lets people make websites, from simple blogs to enterprise, huge websites. InstaWP.
You want to start your business? Huh? Just choose WordPress. That is all
It's a skill. It's like, knowing how to use this software is a business skill. InstaWP has been around for about 2 years or so, right? Maybe
2.5 years.
The owner of it, Vika Singhal, which I'm sure I'm mispronouncing his last name. He's been on the show. And what InstaWP is it's a service primarily for WordPress developers, which allow them to do all kinds of things, like test out their plugins, themes, websites, that you can even sell websites. I should know this, right? Because now here comes my part, okay, which is about, 6-7 weeks ago, Abhishek got in touch with me and said, can I say what it is? Yeah, I can say what I do. Right. Okay. Yeah, it's not a total secret. So he hired me to work with him to redevelop or to provide the copy for a new homepage and other pages for the site. And it's been, first of all, for me, it's different kind of work. I've never done it before, but I feel like for the reasons that we've discussed, I think it was a good choice. Let's just say that. And it has also been a pleasure working collaboratively with you, because that's really what it is. It isn't just one person doing this. It's a multiple. It's just, anyway, enough of that. But I love the InstaWP story. I love the service. I love its potential is humongous to serve, tens of millions of people around the world. Okay. It has that kind of potential, and probably will over time, knowing the people who are involved with this thing. Okay. Enough of this InstaWP stuff. We gotta because we just can't, you and I, we can't just use my podcast as a private conversation.
Of course. I'm really sorry for that.
Yeah. All right. Because you and I could go on for hours on this stuff. I know. Now, you mentioned you play table tennis every day.
Oh, yes.
At what time? Are you serious?
Yes. So, since I have started to residing in this society, I used to find people who can play with me. So the problem is I have a lot of energy. I just need that energy to be distributed. Because what happens at the end of the day is I can't sleep. It happens literally. I'm like being honest here. It disrupts my sleep. and I cannot sleep if I have not actually done any physical activity.
We sit down a lot. I mean, are you stand when you work or do you sit? So let me ask you, do you have a standing desk at work or do you stand or what do you do when it comes to work?
So generally I don't, but at times when my wife has to like do some cleaning or maybe my maid has to do some cleaning, I have to stand up and like work on and bare feet. But that doesn't happen like very often. It is like once or twice in a month, and that took a few minutes. So it's negligible.
Yeah, because I have a standing desk, but I never stand. I used to, but I don't stand anywhere. Now, one thing I also know about you is that you like cricket. Do you play cricket? Tell me a little bit about cricket because I don't know cricket.
Okay, so I do like to play cricket. I don't follow it much. Like I don't follow it much I don't follow what's going on in the cricket world, but I do play cricket regularly. Like on weekends, we have like matches with different teams and we go out and play with other teams. And like, I have been fond of playing cricket very much like since childhood because that used to be a very, very like exercise heavy and fitness heavy sport. So I definitely would love to do that. And I recently have started it again. So let's see how it goes and till where it goes.
When do you have time to play cricket? Cricket takes forever, doesn't it? Like hours and hours?
Yeah. So generally we do it on weekends. On weekends, like we set up a match with the team at maybe 6 a.m. or maybe 7 a.m. in the morning. And then it's generally a 20 overs match. And it takes around 3.5 to 4 hours to get both the innings finished. So I generally play cricket on weekends.
Yeah. Do you stay there for the whole match or do you come and go as the match proceeds? You have to stay there the whole time, right?
Yeah. When you are on the batting side, you have to stay there till the time you bat and then you rest when you get out. And then when you bowl, you have to stay on the field like, for the bowling and fielding. And I was all rounder.
Do you own your own wicket? I guess that's what it is, right? A wicket?
Yes, I do have a bat and a
bat,
tennis ball bat. So I don't play with a leather ball anymore because it might get me to some injury. So I just don't want to be in a state that where I have to take off from my work, which I don't like at all.
I know. Now, so I just learned a different size balls. I get that. Now, what about when you bowl? This is the last cricket question in case anybody wants to know. When you bowl, you're in the field. Is there different positions that you play in the field? I assume there are.
When you say different positions?
Players.
Yes.
Yeah, players have different positions, correct?
Positions when you say like somebody's the captain, somebody's the vice captain, and then the other teammates. And
no. That's not what I'm thinking. Like, do people stand in certain places on the field and they always stand there?
Yeah, you have to plan it strategically that if a player is a left-handed batsman, then you have to set up the field according to that.
Just like baseball.
Yeah, and if it is a right-handed batsman, then you have to set the field up according to that. If you know the batsman, like how he plays, you have to you have to really be cautious about where he can hit the shot or maybe strategically place fielding.
You got me all jazzed up now about cricket because you probably don't know this, but in the United States now, they play cricket on television all the time.
Okay.
I don't know who watches this, but obviously people do. Now, another thing I know about you is that you play guitar, correct?
Yeah. So guitar is something which I'm not a pro guitarist. I am a hobbyist like you have, which I just don't play guitar for on any professional stuff because I have learned it myself. I have learned it from YouTube and I have learned it from various people. Yeah. And I just play it for certain songs. I cannot play it you just give me a random song and I'll be able to play it. I won't.
You don't pick it up by ear is what you're saying.
No,
right?
No. I don't practice it enough. It's, as I said, that it's for a hobby and I love to play it for myself and within a solitude. Like it has to be an isolated environment where I am the only one who is playing with that.
I know what you mean. You play it for yourself, by yourself.
Yeah. It's something like which I feel like meditating when I play guitar because
sure.
Yeah.
Music takes us to a different place, and when we're playing it, it's certainly what would we be? What would humans be without music? Wow. That's just awful.
That's true.
Yeah. All right. Well, now I'm gonna get to the last question.
Seriously, but is it
Well,
going to
Abhishek,
be?
we just can't go on forever. We both have to go back to work. Let me ask you the last question, which is, who do you suggest I have on a future episode of Seriously, Bud?
I would recommend Anamika. She is like Anamika. She's actually like very knowledgeable person in terms of accessibility in WordPress. So I'm not sure if you've had her before, but I'll definitely share her profile link with you.
You know, the way this goes is fine. We'll probably talk a minute or two about accessibility.
Mhm.
You know, you'd think I'd be an expert at this. I'm not, but I have a state interest in this, but I think everybody does, quite frankly.
Correct.
And no, I'd be happy to do that.
And she's a very, very interesting person to talk with, I think.
Abhishek, thank you so much for doing this and taking time out from your busy cricket day. I know it. Oh, it's not cricket day for you. So thanks again, and I'm sure we'll be in touch.
Thank you very much, Bud. Thank you very much for this like lovely conversation, and I really enjoyed it throughout, and would definitely love to keep in touch.
I think so. I hope so.
Whenever you come to India, I would love to host you, man.
Oh boy. Okay, I'll be right over. All right.
All right. Bye-bye. Take care.
Hey, I didn't know that Abhishek was a backbencher in school, that he likes aliens and Illuminati, and he researched them while in a cyber cafe. Remember cyber cafes? Doesn't know if he wants his own children, but he's open to the idea of adoption. And he's lazy, disorganized, and lethargic. No, he's not. Did you? Now, coming soon is my very first ebook. It's called Questions I Wish I Had Asked. It's being sponsored by Robbie Adair and OS Training. Until next time, thank you for your time.